Hello everybody, how you doing and welcome to week 22 of our Mythic Pluses and what to do about them. As always, you know me, Lord PeteyTV. I'm here to give you our information for those affixes and to talk generally about the updates that have been happening in World of Warcraft this past week involving the dungeons and also, your player characters and what you're kind of expecting to see once, the next, I guess, 11.1 comes out. So without further ado, we'll start the talking about this. Now, it is week 22 of our Mythic Pluses, and it is going to be Zelatat's Bargain Ascent with Fortified. So what is that going to mean for us? Now, that means for us that the level 2 affix is going to be Ascent. That means that 10 orbs are going to appear, and they're going to kind of come at you from inside to hit any of the characters in there. You have to knock them back. That means interrupted, purged, knocked, crowd controlled in any situation possible. Once you hit those, then you are good to go. For the next is going to be level 4, which is going to be your fortified, which means non-bosses are going to have more health and they're going to deal more damage. And then level 7 is our affixes for Challenger's Peril, which means that every single time you end up having a death, you're going to add 90 seconds to the timer, but each death is going to be 15 seconds instead of the 5, which is going to cause you to have more problems. Tyrannical, which means bosses are going to do 25% more health and going to deal more damage. So that means you're going to have to deal with both affixes there. And then once again, at 12, you're going to deal with Zelatat's Guile, which means you're going to have a 10% increase in flat HP across the board. So generally, we have dealt with this before. I am not going to kind of deep dive into it other than saying this is not going to be that crazy a week in my opinion because Ascent is pretty easy to deal with. So yeah, not much more to go from there. Now, make sure you hit that subscribe button here. We need to make sure we get those subscribers up. We got the hours to make partnership. We just don't have the numbers. So anybody subscribing to the channel, I would greatly appreciate your support. Now, we're going to go into the other stuff that's going to be happening for 11.1. Now, there's been lots of changes going on with the PTR. I really don't want to go into a deep dive because nothing has been solidified to what things are going to look like for those dungeons. Eventually, we're going to go into those dungeons once the game launches. We're going to do recordings. I'm going to talk about each bosses and how things are going to operate when Mythic Pluses are live. But in general, right now, we're starting to get dribs and drabs of information about how things are happening. Who is going to be, who are going to be, the top tier DPS and healers and tanks and all that fun stuff, in addition to things like reputation, the raid, and also, things like the dinars, which are kind of important to, I think, a lot of us. So I want to talk to you guys about the dinars. They are part of the rep from the Undermined group. I can't think of the actual name of that reputation because I don't remember if it was actually spoken about yet or not. But that reputation line that we're getting from the Undermined is going to give you dinars within that renown. Well, they're changing that because apparently they figured out by the time you need those dinars, you're not actually going to need the dinars. So they're going to be changing those things. So it's going to be interesting to see where they're going to end up putting that in there. The other thing is that they did a lot more dungeon nerfs to a lot of the different dungeons. They did a lot of buffs and moving around of all the classes. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be very hard for me to kind of give people information based on 11.1. But as of right now, they keep changing everything. And I really don't want to give people false information because they don't know what's happening. And I don't know what's happening. So it's kind of hard to say. And the PTR keeps evolving pretty rapidly. But I will say this, from what I've seen, it looks like a lot of the older dungeons that we're accustomed to and used to, they're putting a handful of nerfs on a lot of those. And they're also putting a couple of changes and buffs. For instance, the first boss in Theater of Pain, which is the 5 guys, that you 5 guys or 4 guys that you have to deal with. Normally, you just take one dude, focus him, kill him, and then take care of the rest. That's not the case anymore. You can't do that because the other ones are still affected. So you have to kind of play with that and figure that out. So, like I said, there's a lot going on, especially this specific, the specific season coming through. Once I start getting more information, I will definitely bring it through to everybody. So, thank you again, everyone. I greatly appreciate you hanging out and seeing us here on Lord PeteyTV. Please check out our sister channels, which is Anime with Lord PeteyTV, and also our Gaming Fire with Lord PeteyTV, where we have gaming news and MMO information. So, thank you all very much for stopping in. I greatly appreciate you. Please check out our other videos. For instance, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I'm going to be bringing throughout the whole entire year probably, and we're going to be playing other games too, because there are lots of fun stuff coming out this year. So thanks everyone, have a great one, dream big, keep gaming, see you in channel, bye everybody.